Hi, I'm with Daniel Hayes. Daniel works for an organization. It's actually an NGO, an international organization that deals with sanitation, but uses the power of football to actually effect their message. Daniel, can you talk to us about a bit about what you do and your organization?
So yes, Wash United works to end the global sanitation crisis that kills more kids every day than AIDS, malaria, and measles combined. And Wash United, our theory is that it is not the lack of technology, it is not the lack of money, it is the lack of discussion around this topic. It's the silence, it's the tabooization of sanitation issues, and we need to get people talking about it. So we use football and football stars like Didier Drogba or Asamoah Gyan to get the people in the target countries in sub-Saharan Africa talking about the subject. We use these stars because those are the stars that the kids look up to. I mean, those are the stars that the kids know. They watch on television. They're big fans, and we're trying to change the conversation. We're trying, first of all, to initiate the conversation, and then to change the conversation when the kids go home and say to their parents, "We have to wash our hands before we eat." It's just different when Didier Drogba says something compared to when the teacher says it.
So, Daniel, when you told me that you did some tour to Bangladesh, to Accra in Ghana, and interview a few famous football stars, all about reining home the message about sanitation using the power of football. Now, what we have come up with is Footiefunder.com, which is a global crowdfunding website, which is basically to enhance things like what you're doing, but through the power of football, but also to help teams and people who want to create projects around football to raise finance to do these things. What do you think about a platform like that, where the crowd are more responsible for raising finance for their small local football teams and for projects like what you're doing?
I think it's excellent. I mean, what we're seeing right now with technology is just the democratization of access. And I think it's great when people can get together around football, around their favorite sport. It doesn't even have to be football. It could be any sport, anything that gets people excited. And I think it's great when there are opportunities to get people more engaged, to get them more visibility on a global scale. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. You mentioned other sports as well. Just to mention that we have Footiefunder.com for the likes of me who are passionate about football, and also there is Sportifunder.com, which is for every other global sports imaginable, basically to raise finance through the power of sports for any project in the world. The whole concept for Sportifunder.com and for Sportifunder is any project that you have, you put it on any of these platforms, particularly for Sportifunder.com, for example, and anyone who is passionate about sports and actually likes the project, for example, Wash United, which is a project, if that is put on Sportifunder.com, you will see that people all over the world will contribute small amounts of money to help you raise a financial goal to actually be able to deliver a specific service that you want to do to a specific community. How do you think that will sound as a way of raising finance for Wash United?
I think that's definitely a very interesting proposition for Wash United. I do think that it's not only the money, though. It's also the publicity that you can get through a website like this. It's people who give money and they are invested and they talk about it with their friends, and that's what Wash United is about. We really we want to end the silence. We want to get people talking about sanitation.
Through football.
Exactly, and it's a great way to do that over a website where there's thousands, millions of people who are looking at projects that they can support financially, but as well as like just by discussing it with their friends, family, and neighbors.
Or coffee or
Exactly. Yeah.
But in terms of the social impact of being able to raise finance from anywhere from anybody in the world for a sporting project or for a football project, are there any concerns you have about the ability to raise finance like that?
Honestly, I don't think there are very many concerns. I think it's a great way for initiatives all around the world to get money for their initiative. Of course, they will have to be good in presenting themselves. They will have to be good in explaining to the people who are giving the money what exactly. Yes, exactly. And so there's definitely going to be challenges, but I think the opportunities outweigh the challenges by far.
Excellent. So overall, you think that using crowdfunding as a means, i.e. combining technology and finance and people to raise finance for very, very noble projects like Wash United and for millions of projects like that for either football or other sports, you think is the way forward in the 21st century?
Absolutely, I think crowdfunding is the way forward. I mean, if we look at what's happening in the media business, I mean, we're based in Berlin, and there was recently a big cinema movie that was actually financed through crowdfunding. It's from a very popular TV series, and they didn't even have a trailer really to do the crowdfunding. And people were so passionate about it that they got the money within 10 days.
Wow. They raised the finance within 10 days.
A full cinema movie.
Wow. Was it about sports or?
It wasn't about sports. It was really, it was a TV series, a comedy series. But yeah, I think that is really the way forward because people can get engaged with their passion. They kind of cut out the middleman, you know? They take out the producers of the content who then get to decide, okay, this is what the crowd is going to like and this is what the crowd won't like. But the people can actually make the decisions to get the content produced that they really like. And the same thing for your project. The same thing applies. I mean, people can really go and say, I support this specific project because maybe I know the person who's involved, or maybe I've heard very good things, or maybe I've even visited it. So they can give their support to this project, and they can really direct their money, and they know where it's going, and it's much different than, I mean, I'm not against donating money to the Red Cross or to big organizations, but it gives more personality and a direct link to the organization and the project.
This is crowdfunding for me, especially on Footiefunder or Spotifunder. For any monies that are raised, it's targeted to the project within the community. So it's targeted funding, if you like, you know, to coin a better phrase for it, because the person who's actually contributing or backing the project knows exactly where it is going. And of course, they will be expecting feedback from the project owners as well about the progress of the project, about the delivery of the project within time scale, and about what their monies have been used for, which I think is a phenomenal way of demonstrating the power of crowd technology and finance.
Absolutely, and it's also always very important to get feedback from the people who you're communicating to. It's as a project, you are out there in the field. It's sometimes difficult to see how you can communicate this best to people who don't deal with this every day. And it's sometimes we lose sight over what is the best way to talk to people who, you know, don't see this in their everyday business, who, you know, work in a different field and are not too connected with this. And it's always good to have the feedback from the people so we can also do a better job again at communicating.
I was just saying that do you think that for the 21st century, you think that combining the power of the people, which is the crowd, technology and finance is the way forward for raising finance for football and sports in the 21st century?
Absolutely. I think Footiefunder.com is really onto something. It's the way forward. The people want to feel more closely connected to whatever they are doing. If it's watching sports, if it's being engaged with projects, it's has a lot to do with the internet technology that enables this direct contact. When people go onto social media with big corporations, they want an answer in an hour or two, not in 3 or 4 days. So absolutely, I think this bringing people together in this way, bringing sports in and making finance also a part of it.
And making a difference to communities as well.
Exactly, is a great project.